Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Point of View. Both Ree and Willie are back at the table for today's discussion. Welcome back, and we've got a lot to get into. Coming up, for anyone who's ever wondered what really happened to Gary Coleman, his ex-wife Shannon Price just took a lie detector test and failed, okay? And of course, this is Point of View, so you know we're touching on everything. Relationships, those tough conversations within Black families, and find out what the Trump administration is up to these days, today, every day. Yeah, so pull up a seat and join the discussion. You're watching POV. Gary Coleman was once one of the highest paid child actors in America, best known for his role on the hit sitcom Different Strokes. In 2007, Gary secretly married movie extra Shannon Price. Just a year later, the two divorced, but they were continuing to live together under one roof until his death in 2010. Gary died after a fall in his Utah home, and just 2 days into a coma, Shannon, his ex-wife, made the decision to take him off life support. Since then, there's been an ongoing speculation about whether she played a role in his death, even though investigators at the time found no evidence of foul play. But now that speculation is back in the spotlight because Shannon recently took a lie detector test and failed when asked if she had anything to do with Gary's death. Take a look.
On the critical questions.
Correct. The exam had to do with Gary's fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? You answered no.
Right.
I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam with deception indicated to those relevant questions. Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding Gary's fall.
She looked like a liar.
On the critical questions.
Sorry.
It's so sad because he lived such a tumultuous life from a child. I mean, having such a great start in the business, making money. It was said his family took the money and spent it all. He was trying to, get jobs here and there. He even worked like regular 9-to-5 jobs from time to time. This was really hard. I mean, poor guy. I feel so bad that, the life he had to live.
Do you believe his wife killed him? Too direct?
To the left.
Well, baby, let me be direct with this mouth.
Okay.
Because if she just lied on this lie to take the test, she didn't cause this man to fall and not this man dead. It don't take a rocket scientist.
I believe she may have something to do with it, but I don't think there's an open case. And you know that they cannot use lie detector tests as actually evidence because there's so many factors in it when you deal with it based off of because it's only based off of your response, like your heart. So if you're anxiety, if you're anxious, if you're nervous, anything could change it to do. So you actually can't use that as proof in court that she's actually family.
Okay.
So
Well, she said
she didn't do it now.
Right.
All right. She said she found him in a pool of blood. That's how, she came across him in the house. But they had been living together since they had gotten divorced. They were only married for a year and divorced and living under the same roof.
Now this is me thinking outside the box and going into movie land.
Okay.
Maybe the question, maybe it could be that she was responsible in the fact that she didn't actually push him, kick him, but something that happened during that day that happened to put him in a situation where he couldn't take care of himself and he failed. So that would still be, yes, I was responsible for it because I was responsible for the incidents that led up to him falling, but I maybe didn't do it myself.
Right.
So that's just me.
There's one way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
You never know. It was just...
he gone now.
her mannerisms when he asked the questions and he gave the results, like her mannerism was just like, like it didn't give like.
That can't be true.
Yeah, like
It
it wasn't like she wasn't shocked at all. Like,
Right. Well, she said she was hoping for the best. She said that hopefully she felt things will work in her favor when she take the lie detector test. But she said she wasn't really good at taking lie detector.
That's what I'm
Because she
saying.
be lying.
Okay, and that's just stupid. You know you lying and you know you're
Well, I
responsible for
think-
something. And you go up there and take a lie detector test and think
Yeah.
you gonna pass.
Well, I just think that maybe she's also just tired of the fact that he's
Speculations.
been dead for how long? And they bring
Yeah.
it back. He's been dead a good little bit. So I
Yeah.
think she's like, okay, here we go again. I mean,
But that's what you get because whatever
She
you do in
decided
the
to go
dark,
up there and do
gonna
that.
come back out.
Right.
she
I was
put herself.
wondering.
She put herself to go do a lie detector.
Yeah, I was
well,
wondering why
dumb.
she did that. Yeah, well, I guess because it can't be used against her.
Out of
So,
stupidity.
Yeah,
What she thought she was gonna get out of it?
I really don't know.
15 seconds. Of fame,
Perhaps
that's
she
what
thought.
she just got. 15.
Yeah, or she thought that people would stop speculating that she had something to do
Well,
with
She
it.
thought she was gonna pass.
Shannon, it's too late because now they think you done killed the man. So now you back out there for real.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's time to get into all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. Nearly 47% of parents admit they're only staying in the relationship for the kids. Not love, not happiness, just responsibility. But what happens to a home when the romance is gone and the only thing holding it together is guilt or fear of breaking the kids' hearts? Experts say children can sense everything, even the tension their parents try to hide. So, do you think it's a smart move to stay in the relationship just for the kids' sake?
No.
I don't think so either.
Absolutely not.
I just don't think it's good for kids to constantly see the chaos, the confusion, the fighting, the anger. Like, I don't think that's good mentally and for their spirit and
It's
growing
not.
up.
Like, I grew up in a household that was chaotic when I was a kid, right? But my mom tried to,
Sweep it under the rug, like it's not
she
happening.
just didn't. She tried to keep me away from it.
Okay.
But I could feel when something was wrong. So I grew up in a fearful home.
I see.
Not with my mom. She was the greatest.
Yeah.
But my dad, yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
So it was like, I have childhood trauma for real. If childhood trauma was a person, that's me.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm 33 years old and I still suffer with that even in my dreams.
Wow.
You know?
See? Yeah.
Yeah, I can still have visions of things that happen.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's like, no.
I want to read some stats. According to the Pew Research Center, Black children are the least likely to live with both parents. Just 38% do, compared to 75% of Asians and 65% of white kids.
Wow.
Kids in single-parent homes are 5 times more likely to live in poverty, twice as likely to drop out, and more likely to experience behavioral issues. So, split households do damage the kids, but you don't want them to stay in something that's already traumatic. But we do know that there's an issue with especially Black and brown kids who are experiencing these behaviors. And I work with at-risk kids, and they always are Hispanic or Black. And it's because their behaviors, because they're looking for some form of a wholeness. And it's on both sides. I've seen where the mother's not there and the dad's trying to do the best he can, but the kids bucking up against them because they blame the father for the mother not being there, and then vice versa, blaming the mother for the father not being there.
Yeah.
And as I said, but that is a big, like
That is a big
38%
gap, yeah.
compared to the 75 and 65%. Like, that's why I believe that there is, and I would say this on the record, I do believe that there is some discrepancies among Black culture that people don't want to acknowledge, that there's a family unit issue, and people, they feel like when we're fighting for our equality, that we're fighting because we want to remain as if it's like a racist thing. It's like, no, we have been not having equality for the whole duration of time. So
Yeah.
that's all my.
And also, I see those people who stay with the kids and they be like, okay, we're going to divorce when they get grown, right?
Right.
So now these kids are going to college or whatever, and now their parents are splitting at the age of 18, and now they're thrown all the way off.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just feel like if you can leave y'all leave and y'all just healthy co-parent.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's so simple. I would think it's
Well,
I'm not a parent. Sorry,
it's simple looking from the
Inside
outside
out.
in,
Correct.
yeah. When you're not in that situation
Correct.
where you're, you know,
Right.
butting heads. Wow, I can see where it could be a real problem for kids. What do you think can happen? Like, how do you bridge the families back together? I guess first, what split them
You
apart
need to
in
fix
these
the
ways?
relationship first between the parents. Like, that's where it starts. It starts with the relationship between them, because how are you teaching these kids how to be in healthy relationships for when they're ready for a relationship if y'all are not being great examples?
The first thing is stop having kids, stop having sex with people that you can't see as to have a unit with.
Right,
Everybody
right.
just out here doing whatever with whoever, and then these kids come, you don't like this person, like, you know?
Right,
So it's like, just stop doing it.
Stop being with people that you don't like, for real.
Yeah.
There was a comment that said, what about parents that they're afraid to start over? That's the real truth. It's not really about the kids. Some people say it's really
That sounds
about
like
them
a
being
them
afraid.
problem.
That is a dim problem. Go get some counseling, some
Yeah,
therapy,
that
and
doesn't
be
even have
okay.
anything to do with the
Right.
relationship. They just holding on just
You
to
need
have
to focus
someone.
on the kids' mental health.
That
That's
would be
scary.
So, you know, if you holding on because you don't want to start over,
Yeah.
something wrong.
right.
Some,
Well,
you know, some people do it for the comfortability too.
Yeah.
They're used to this person pay the bills.
Well,
and
I'm sorry. We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We're coming back with Mind, Body, and Soul right after this. So stay tuned because you're watching POV.
What's up, social media family? Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's question is, should a man put his wife or his mother first? I'm going to go ahead and answer
Good
this.
God.
I was waiting for you to open your mouth so I could cut you off.
What?
I personally feel like a man should put his wife first because mom has already been there. Mom should actually have a man that's putting her first.
So why are you gonna cut me off? I agree. The Bible says
Yep.
that you
Clean.
that
I just
you
needed to say mine first.
Oh, well, like she just knew I was gonna disagree. I agree with that sentiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Ladies?
I be saying, you know how they have like, okay, if the wife is sitting in the front seat and the mother is walking the car, who should get in front, who should get in back? I don't care about that. Like, if his mother is old and her knees may need to be more comfortable, I don't care about getting in the back.
That's too specific,
Specific,
Reed.
yeah, we
That's
talking
too,
about-
everybody needs a. That's
Like,
too specific. Just answer the question, honey.
because as long as it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has
Nah.
to make sense.
Do you? Yes or no? Do you put the mother first or the wife?
It's situational.
No, it ain't situational.
To me-
You put your wife first always.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
the words
It's
say.
It is biblical to do that.
That's what the words say, honey.
I am a wife, okay, and so will Reed and Raquel be one day.
Yeah, but I hope that I love my
y'all
mother.
in the drop down in our comment. What?
Well, I don't think that determines
Drop
whether
down
you
in
love
our
her or not,
comments
putting
and
her
let us
first or
know,
not.
should a man put his
Just what
wife
the
or
words
his
say.
woman first? We're gonna get back to the show.
That's why you got to. Welcome back. All right, y'all, this is part of the show where we pause and take a moment to reflect on the things that truly matter. Our peace, y'all, our growth, and our purpose. Let's get into mind, body, and... Are you going to do it, Junie?
I was waiting on you.
I was like, Junie, you going to have to start doing it. She was like,
I
no.
can't hit that note like you.
Let's talk about setting boundaries, especially when you grow up in a black household. As you transition into adulthood, something as simple as asking for space or skipping a family event, honey, can suddenly be labeled as just disrespectful or rebellious. But when is that maintaining boundaries within our own families Why does it feel so difficult? And at what point do we stop calling it disrespect and start recognizing it as self-care? I wrote my book about this. I wrote this in my book, Falling Up, The Unstoppable Journey of a Tear. You can get it on Amazon. I did. I talked about these different things, you know, especially these boundaries. Oh, my goodness.
How do you feel about setting boundaries?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
And I know it's very important. It's very important on the onset, especially once you turn 18 or whatever. It's very important. But a lot of times you get this bullying at times from your family, your parents, that, oh, that's how you feel? Well, then I tell you what then. Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's unfair because you, as a child, you're supposed to come to that point where you have independence.
Yes, where you leave the nest.
Yes, and a lot of
Now,
times
you ain't
it's about control. I'm sorry?
That's why we're going to wait. Go ahead.
And a lot of times it seems to be more about that control.
Yes.
This is what I say. This is no matter at what age. This is
my
what I
child.
say. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have that problem. The only problem that I feel like I used to have is when, like, say, like, one of the family members did something to hurt me, right? It was kind of like, y'all cousins, y'all will get over it. And it's just like, until I break it down, like, hey, no, I'm dead serious. Like, this is what this person did. I'm not dealing with that no more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to deal with this.
Right.
And when I be serious about hurt, I be serious. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
They just don't play with me. Mom, no, don't ask to go. I'm not going.
Now walk with me with this.
Especially
Walking.
as an adult, Willie. Especially Ree.
Now she talking today.
To piggyback off of what you said, I feel like as an adult, it is so important to set boundaries with your family, especially if some of your family members have very toxic ways, you know, and you recognize that. And it's just like, you know what? I'm actually at the age where I don't have to deal with this. And I have my own independence and I have my own, literally my own life going on that I don't need to depend on my parents and I don't need to depend on really anybody in my family. So it's okay for me to say, you know what, I'm not going to go over there. You know, you stay over there. But then I also feel like that creates like so much distance in the family. So I'm like 50-50 because I would love to be closer with my family, but it's also just like, y'all are evil.
Yeah.
But I think boundaries also can cause you to come together. I mean, maybe in an interim, maybe not. It's like, because I don't like it. But I think at some point it does.
I just don't like the
come to
person.
terms.
I don't like who you've grown to be, and I don't have to deal with that
I just
person.
feel
okay, well,
I've
that's
always
something.
went back.
I don't
and
wanna be
tried
that
and
version of
tried.
you.
Yeah, and tried, and it's like to the point my spirit don't it do not. It
rejects them.
It rejects them.
Yeah.
Like I physically was getting sick when I hear their name.
Oh, wow.
Like
That's
sick.
terrible, yeah.
So then this pastor literally told me that he said my I forgot what it is. My nervous system didn't trust me enough to protect it. So it start getting sick.
Manifesting
Yes.
sickness.
And that when he told me that, it was just no.
Wow.
Because I felt so bad for my inner self. You don't even trust me because I have let people walk all over you. So now you're feeling sick, you're ill, you're in the hospital. Just to think that you have to face this person.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
That's true.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, all my inner self got is me. I have to protect me.
Willie, you trying to say something?
Sorry, Willie.
Did he?
Reclaiming my time.
I think.
Okay.
So anywho, you get women on the table, they talk all day.
Well, see, he got
So,
to say extra
but
stuff.
what I was saying was, is that I think I'm taking a different spin. Boundaries is important, but I do think it comes from a state of oppression from our culture.
Okay.
Meaning that because we've had so much taken away, I'm talking about way back, slavery times and stuff, we have so much taken away. It was very big for family units in that times because you saw kids being snatched away. Why? So I think that we have put that in our culture that we got to be so close in everything you do. I'm 37 years old. My mom, when she comes visit me, she's still saying, "Where you going?" In my house. So she's staying with me.
Yeah.
And she asking me, where you going? Wait, I ain't gonna sit up waiting for you. Just go to sleep. I'm not asking you to stay up and wait for me. But
Go to bed, girl.
I'm like, yeah, go to bed. Like, you talking about, I'm not gonna be sitting up there. And then when I get back, she's still sitting there. I was wondering when you gonna get back. And I'm thinking, like, I appreciate because it shows her
It's
love.
mama love.
But it's like the boundaries of like, I'm gonna be okay. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I live because when you're gone, I'm still doing what I need to do. But I think this comes from a culture place of, just feeling like we don't want to lose something again because it's like we lost so much through generations. And I think that we don't have boundaries because we feel like, hey, we tell everything. Everybody got to know. You going to know what your aunt doing, cousin doing, sister done. That girl, I dreamed of a fish. She pregnant. Everybody got to know. Everybody is pregnant. So that's all I want to say. I think it just comes from a place generationally that we have to stop with us. When we have children to say, hey, we want to create healthy boundaries. I love you. I'm there.
Healthy
let's
boundaries.
create healthy boundaries where you ain't got to worry about where I am when I don't call you at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Well, that's just mom's
My
love
kid got to call.
That's everybody in the family, though. My family. Black people is something else.
That's just mom. And I know with my mom, I think we have gotten to the point where we're really learning to respect those boundaries, or some of them when I can actually feel comfortable enough to set them. I think now she's really starting to say, okay, you know what? That's how she feels, and I'm going to respect that. So I'm very, happy about that.
So how do y'all feel? How do y'all tell y'all parents when they have overstepped? At this age and day and time, how do you tell them that they have overstepped or crossed a boundary and they have made you uncomfortable?
I know for me, I let it go on too long before I actually say something, but I'm trying to learn to be quicker and say, hey, mom, that wasn't, like the way that went down, I didn't particularly care for it. I usually say things through like being funny because it's easier for me to make like a joke, but my joke isn't really joking. It's me being serious, but I'm trying to come to you in a way that's respectful, or maybe a way that I think you can accept it without being upset about it.
I can't. My mom will. I've tried, and she begins to go down the thing. I've done all I could for you. And it's like she takes it personally, like not that I'm trying to say, hey, mom, it's more like, well, I done been there, did that. So I think like I just learned to just say, Lord, just you work with her. Right. Take it to God, Lord, deal with her heart, let her, deal with that. Because I feel like when I say it, then it starts a divide. Now it's an actual problem that wasn't even originally there.
Because they try to get defensive. For many years, me and my mom, we couldn't communicate properly. She used to like, if I say something, it was always, she was just in like if she was to yell, I don't know why, but if somebody yelled, my tone go right the same tone. So then she's like, why are you yelling? And I'm like, wait, what? You yelled at me? I'm trying to tell you. So we were just talking all over each other. And we had to really have a hard conversation where we were yelling at each other and both of us is crying. And I'm like, look how you talk to me. This is a domino effect. And then, so then now it's just like, as soon as something bothered me, I'd be like, hey, listen, I don't like that. But I go all the way around the world. Once I went in therapy, now I know how to break it down.
Good.
Like I'm writing a paragraph.
See, therapy, y'all.
I understand.
Well, all right, we're going to move on to our final segment of the day really quick. Let's get into unpopular opinion. The Supreme Court just ruled 7-2 in favor of the Trump administration, giving the green light to deport undocumented immigrants to countries they have zero connection to. No family, no personal history, not even citizenship. Some were nearly sent to the war-torn South Sudan, a place they've never lived and don't even know. Unpopular opinion, right? But would you consider this as cruel and unusual punishment, or do you agree with this ruling?
This is cruel and unusual punishment. Because why are you sending people to places they've never
no connection with? Yeah, and then it's a war zone.
Why not just send them home? You trying to get them killed?
Yeah,
just send me
He's trying
back
to
home.
Decrease population, and we know that.
Yeah, and then it's also, I think there's some work that's being done on the 14th Amendment as well. So that could be, that's just part of what's happening.
Wow. We're really rewriting history, aren't we?
Yeah. Willie has something contrary to say.
According to the Pew, there are about 10.5 million illegal immigrants in the United States. Illegal immigrants cost taxpayers $150 billion annually, according to the FAIR. Black Americans are disproportionately hurt by illegal labor. The Center of Immigration Studies show illegal labor depresses black wages by 8 to 10%. So now I can close my
Black people, you're going to get paid more money if we get rid of the immigrants.
I'm simply saying, I've been saying this from go. Y'all can say what y'all want to, the blue in the face.
We will.
Sudan is not that bad. But I'll say this, at the end of the day, we have to protect what is American. property, our land, and what's here.
This is
And
not
we
their
go-
land.
And
Let's
we're
take it
staying
there.
on the focus. Then
All
where,
right.
where the hell do you want everybody else to go?
All right.
At the end of the day, like I
Really?
said, we need to protect what belongs to the United States of America.
Let's ask the Indians
of the
where
day-
they want them to go.
The
It should be their
Indians,
choice.
the Indians are us,
Okay.
copper-toned people.
And then they talking about the Black American. First of all, Black Americans we is not going out there in that sun for no little bit of sense to build no house.
And that's what the problem is. Thank
But
you.
that's us.
That's
So they
the
like,
problem.
What do you
If
have like
that's
these
it,
billions of
that's the
dollars?
problem.
At the end of the day gonna end.
Man, we need more time on that.
Do they?
And that's a wrap for today's show. Before we wrap, we would like to leave you with a quote. Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it in every generation. John Lewis.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time right here on POV only on Afro TV. Thank you for joining us this evening.